Good morning, friends. Welcome back to that 1870s homestead. My name's Rachel, and I've been super busy today in the kitchen, just busting out some preserving, and I always get fussed at by my friends on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. Are you going to share it with us on YouTube? And sometimes you're just so busy in the kitchen, like to take time to get the camera out and everything and reposition it. It does slow us down for us content creators. So I sat down, took a break for lunch, and I said, okay, I think I can do it for round number 2. And what are we making? So this is round number 1. Some delicious peach jam or peach preserves, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to share what my process with you guys. And if you got peaches coming in, maybe you'll want to make some too. And I think that there's a lot of fun ways to spice it up. So what I did this morning was I just peeled all of the peaches, sliced them, peeled them, took the pits out, sliced them, and then I diced them into like 1-inch chunks. Now my hands are clean. We're gonna drop those peaches in here and give them a mash. And I'm looking for 6 cups of mashed peaches. I do it 1 layer at a time. And that allows me to watch the consistency and get it how I like it. Now, if you don't want chunky peach jam or preserves, you can, take your blender to it and get it as to the texture that you want. But I love peaches, and having it chunky allows you to put it in a tart or add it to some pie filling or use it in a cake layer. I think it just allows a little bit more flexibility, because then you can always make it thinner later. All right, so I'm going to get through with this, and this is just step number 1. And when I have it at the texture I want it, I'll show you guys. And stick around, because I'm going to tell you what to do with all those peels that you have left over. Don't throw them away if you're peeling peaches right now and watching this for an idea of what to make. Save them. Even if you need to put them in a Ziploc baggie and put them in the freezer till you have enough to make something with them, because I've got it going right behind me on the stove pot, and I'll share that with you. Okay, I've shared lots of jams and jelly cooking on the channel before, and just like all of them, it goes pretty fast. It's a pretty simple process to follow. And if you look up peach jam or jelly recipes, you're going to immediately find a lot of recipes that say like vanilla peach jam or peach and jalapeno jam or peach and peach bourbon jam. Peach is one of those fruits that goes so well with so many different flavors. So if you want to jazz it up and you have a big box of peaches, you can make like one plain and then another batch something else. But I just purely love peach jam. It is my hands down favorite. Well, maybe apricot's my favorite, but then peach would come very close second. So that is the texture. Did I show you guys that I like mine? So still pretty chunky. And then we have to add, now if you go to Blue Book, the canning recipe is going to tell you to add a cup of white grape juice. I'm sorry, that was 6 cups of peaches. I'm almost sure that they say like 4 cups of peaches. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm using pear juice because that's what I have on hand. So I've been using pear juice in mine. It's still mild and mellow. It's not too strong. Similar sweetness to a white grape juice. So 1 cup of pear juice, and then I'm going in with 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. And then we're gonna add 1.5 pouches of sugar gel. And why I'm using 1.5 pouches is because I'm basically 1.5 timesing the amount of fruit and sugar that I'm adding to the recipe. And jam is one of those things that, you know, unlike jelly, if it doesn't quite set up to the thickness that you like, it's usually still spreadable and good to serve as a jam. And because I made the batch earlier and left some in the bowl, I should have saved it for this video, but I didn't know I was doing a video. It's set up really nicely. So we're gonna put this over high heat, and then we're gonna bring it to a boil. And we're really gonna let it boil for about a minute to really activate that pectin. Well, while that's coming to a boil, let me show you what I got going on back here. Let me block the light. Ooh, it's zucchini bread jam. I love zucchini bread jam. I have some in the fridge. Let me grab it. Focus, not on me, on the jam. There we go. So yummy. If you've never had it and you spread it on toast, it's like eating a piece of zucchini bread. It's so good. But it makes really good, like I always recommend at putting it as a layer in a spice cake. So good. So I need to keep stirring this. So we got zucchini bread jam because I have a pile of zucchinis on the table. We got peach jam. I'm making another round of peach jam. I think that second batch going right there is gonna be maybe a peach vanilla jam. And then I mentioned don't throw your peels and pits away, right? Now I only use the peels, but it's been going for about an hour. Simmering over here is just a pot of water with the peels. And we're gonna make some peach syrup. And so we'll see if I get it in this video. If I don't, you basically just strain that, and for the amount of juice that you have, you add double the amount of sugar. And then when you strain it too, don't squeeze it because you'll get like cloudy syrup. And then bring it back to a boil for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then you can it water bath canning. So I'm excited to make some of that. I've never made peach syrup, but I've done this process with the peels many times just to get the juice. So if you didn't want syrup, do the same thing and then can it as juice. You could add a little bit of sweetener to it if you wanted to, but just not double the amount of sugar because you're just wanting the juice and not the flavor. Or like this pear juice that I made, that was made with all the scraps, the cores, the peels, everything, and I used my steam juicer. And it's a very similar process. I just didn't want to get out a whole nother piece of equipment. This was a pot that I'd already made jam in earlier, and just keep it going. All right, so this is gonna take a minute. When it comes back to a boil, I'll show you. I need to measure out my sugar, so we're ready to go with that. So let me get that done. Again, it's gonna be, we had 6 cups of peaches. I'm going in with 7 cups of sugar. Okay, so you're gonna see that it's boiling around the edges, right? That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking to where it's boiling in the middle, and I can't stir it away. Oh, I'm sorry guys, the camera cut off. I just put the sugar in after that pectin came to that hard boil, and was commenting that be super careful because this is really, really hot. So you don't want to like dump your sugar in from really high and splash that hot fruit juice out on you. And then similarly, as you're stirring in that sugar, be super careful because this is really, really hot. Don't have any little kids around. Maybe do it during nap time if you've got little ones. And if you have to, cut the heat off and walk away, because this can boil over. So we're going to stir it continuously till it comes to a rolling boil, like boiling like I showed you, boiling in the middle. You can't stir it away. And we're going to stir it once it comes to a full boil with the sugar in it for a minute. And then it's time to jar it up. Just about at that full boil where I can't stir it away. I'm just looking for it to boil a little bit more in the center. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna call that now. I got big bubbles in the center. I'm gonna turn my heat down just a little bit so I can keep that boil under control, and we're gonna go for 1 minute. Okay, we'll turn off our heat. I'm going to let that settle down a little bit, and then we're going to scrape this foam off. Okay. You absolutely don't have to. It's for presentation purposes only to take this foam off. Oh, so it doesn't take long. And I'm not too picky, like I don't try to get every little last bit of it, but it definitely helps. I stir it around between foam scoops just to try to help those peaches settle down and get out of my way a little bit. All right, I think that's good enough. So now we need to head over back to the counter and get ready to ladle this into our jars. The recipe I am pretty much following is the Ball Blue Book Guide to Preserving. I don't know what year this one was published. I've had it for quite a while. Anyway, I like to stir everything each time I get a scoop so the peaches are evenly distributed. And about 2 1/3 of a scoop will do it. And you're going to a 1/4 inch of a headspace. So about like that. Isn't that beautiful? So this should give me right at 11 pints or so, or 11.5 pints. It is still very, very, very hot. I'm going fast because I've been doing this all day. But if you're just a beginner, definitely still go slow because you don't want to splash this on yourself. That one a little too full. And that's okay if that happens. You can spoon some off. All right, and we have that much to spare. So I'll let this cool while this is processing and come back and show you how that little bit sets up. So now, as always, when you're canning anything, really, you should wipe the rims of your jars. All the more important with something sticky like this. So it could, if you didn't get that sugar off, result in a false seal. And a false seal is not good from food safety standards. Got a warm washcloth. We're gonna just wipe the rims of those jars. Every now and then move your cloth around your finger so you're not just re-wiping sugary sweetness on the lids. It's already setting up nicely, really, really nicely. Okay, we're gonna put the rings on my canner is still pretty warm. I only pulled it off the stove to do this second round. So it's not boiling hot, but it's warm. And I'll tell you what, guys, this is the first year I have used these Walmart brand canning jars, and I've had 100% success. So if you can't find, your preferred canning jar, don't be too afraid to try them. They've worked great for me. Okay, let's turn our canner back on. We'll just be popping these right back in because that last batch just came out, so this water's still really hot. And one of the things why I keep mentioning that is when you're canning, you want like for like temperatures of your canner and the food product that you're putting in. So if you're doing cold foods, you want it to go in a cold water bath. If you're doing hot foods, in a hot water bath. And this is water bath canning. We're going to be canning this for 10 minutes. Once it comes to a rolling boil, we'll start that 10-minute timer. And you want your water covering your jars at least an inch. My water is probably 2 inches above. Alrighty, put our lid on. I've mentioned this before, but in case you're new here, I do use my pressure canner as a water bath canner. I just don't lock and seal it, and it works great for me. All right, that round is done, but I did mention to you guys that I was going to show you how it's set up. So 1 second while I get these out. And then I also went ahead and made the next round of that vanilla peach jam, and I want to tell you guys how I did it. Alrighty, before I ladle up this next batch, let me get out of the way. There is that jam. How about that? Pretty good. Taste it again. I already tasted it so many times. Just like eating a peach pie. Alrighty, so I'm going to tell you how I did this batch. So it was exactly 4 cups of crushed peaches, and I added a full teaspoon of vanilla extract. We make our own homemade extract, so it's got a lot of good vanilla bean bits in it for every cup of peaches. And sugar, I did 5 cups of sugar. And about 3/4 cups of the pear juice. So exact same, just if you want to add vanilla and you've got a second round to do, just go with a teaspoon of vanilla per cup of peaches. And I am done. Well, not exactly. Oh, I forgot. I got the syrup to make. But I'm done with the bulk of it. And the syrup stuff, I can just set that juice in the fridge and do that tomorrow, because I really want to get outside today. It's a beautiful blue, fluffy, white cloud sky day, and I want to be outside. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and maybe I'll come back with a next video on making that syrup. I've got some ideas. Similarly, how I can do some fun varieties and not just everything plain peach syrup, but maybe some peach lavender, peach blueberry, maple peach. So we'll see what I come up with. I think we're going to end up with 7 pints. How about that? All right, I'm going to can this the exact same way. 10 minutes in the water bath canner. And hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you're having a wonderful harvest, whatever it is in your area. And hey, it is zucchini season. Like I mentioned, I did that zucchini bread jam. We have a video on the channel. I'll see if Todd can link to that. And we have a huge zucchini playlist of all the things you can make from your zucchini. So if you are already sick of zucchini, hang on. There's a lot you can do with it. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks, guys.